Our next guest is living proof that good things come in small packages from Poltergeist fame, Zelda Rubenstein, who played the medium. Is that the right word for the character you played in there?
Yeah, well, I was a short parading as a medium. Yes, I would say that that's quite accurate.
What about you? We were just talking during the break that you figured that whole Poltergeist was released right before E.T. It was planned that way.
Well, I think that there may have been some consideration given to bring them out in close proximity time-wise to each other because Poltergeist is really a trip into inner space, whereas E.T. was an exploration of outer space as well.
You know, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. They both focus on some very deep abilities of the human spirit.
You know, when I watched the movie originally, I thought, God, she sounds so eerie. You just, but talking to you, and I don't know if the word cute is right for the way you sound or not. I mean, you just got a nice sounding voice. But in the movie, did they do anything to make you, or was that just the way you acted the character, played the character, that sounded real, that was like, I'd hate to have this happen to me, that this lady would have to come in my house and get rid of these ghosts.
Well, she really would, but at least temporarily. No. I'm an actress, and I can get in touch with those things that, in my own personal background, had made me at times be a bit like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in any of that stuff at all?
I believe in a lot of it.
Really?
Yes, sir, really.
Does that have a lot to do with you accepting the part?
I would have accepted that role under almost any circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I think that it added a certain extra touch, that I'm not fearful about phenomena we don't understand.
Have you ever experienced one?
Oh, sure.
You have? Like
Not
what?
a poltergeist.
No? What?
But I've had incidents happen in my life that were quite rare, having prior knowledge about things that would occur. And we all have that ability, but it's usually such a frightening, disruptive sensation that you don't go with it, you turn it off.
Do you have any examples you could tell us about?
Yeah. In fact, I knew when my dog died when I was living in London. I woke up one morning and I just knew my puppy had died. And a week later, I got a letter from my mother saying that quite unexpectedly, poor little thing just packed it in.
Packed it in. Have you ever had anything like that happen?
Oh, yes, I believe very much.
Really?
Yes.
Like what? I love
in
ghost
alternate
stories.
experiences to what we call reality. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I haven't had such a specific experience as that. Rather, knowing when someone close to me is upset, certainly when I'm with someone on a one-to-one basis, I will experience their emotional state and be able to talk to them about what's going on with them, things that they even are not in touch with. And when I speak it, they recognize it.
I had a friend of mine one time that moved into, in fact, the person that, I think you played her character in Poltergeist. I did an interview with her last summer. She's actually one that goes in and finds ghosts and things. Did you meet her? You know what I'm talking about?
Thelma Moss?
Yeah. Yeah, Thelma Moss.
No, I've never met her. I'd love to meet Thelma
Oh,
Moss.
well, yeah, she brings pictures and tells story after story.
Yeah.
I told her about a friend of mine that once rented a house, and apparently the lady that lived there originally had died in the house, and he rented the place, and he was in there painting it. He would bring his ladders and his paint in every day, and he'd be painting, and all of a sudden the buckets would turn over. And I don't know how he had the guts to do it. I would have moved. I would have said, the heck with it.
Yes.
But he somehow just says, I live here now, get out of here. And never had a problem again. I mean, the guy's
sure,
not one to tell you or to make up stories.
Yeah.
He's a good friend.
I did have an experience. In fact, when we were shooting Success in Munich, they have a lot of very old buildings there. And there was I'm sure it was a ghost in the room I was staying. Because the shutters, they were shutters that you bolted. You literally bolted them closed. And they kept opening through the night. And I was very afraid to go into the room where the shutters were. No.
It's probably-
And I left the hotel, finally.
Yeah, you'd do it. I'd leave.
I did. It's yours. You got it. Just
Blow
let me
that
take my
pop stand.
toothbrush. I'm out of here.
I don't want to go home tonight by myself. We have a clip from Poltergeist. In case of, I don't know if anybody hasn't seen it. I think everybody's seen it, but we got a clip of Zelda, Rubenstein.
Person who's different has brought some enhancement to a role.
Mm-hmm. What about you're so involved in the Little People. It's an actual organization, correct?
I'm involved with the Michael Dunn Memorial Repertory Theater Company, and that is a professional company of small actors.
Do you feel as though you guys get a break, or what is the biggest problem you have career-wise?
Everybody has to make their own breaks always, but our biggest career obstacle are all the attitudinal barriers that are laid out for us, and we're turning out to be marathon hurdlers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you know the guy that played E.T. that passed away last week?
yes, I knew Pat Byron very well. I did some writing for him, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote a few things with him in mind because I think he's just a remarkable package of the best of the human spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a loss. And
It's quite a shock that
yeah.
I think a lot of people
Young
never
man.
even knew he was 35.
Yeah.
A lot of people never even knew that a person was inside that little
well,
costume.
sometimes there was. I'm sure there were times when E.T. operated on his own.
You looking for an Oscar nomination for your role in Poltergeist? Would you like to see one? Of course, you'd like to see one.
Of course
A lot
I
of people are
would.
talking about it.
Of course I would. I would think that would be very nice for me personally, and it would be very nice for a lot of people who are just loaded and ready to take their circle in the sun.
Okay, Zelda, thank you. Stay with
Thank
us.
you.
Sandy Kenyon, our entertainment correspondent, is next.